Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. How are you? I am enjoying rainy New Jersey. I'll tell you, you forget the East Coast weather. Living in LA, it really is always sunny. So I'm not used to all this rain and clouds and gray. But I am loving it. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Steven. Hi, Dana. You guys got your cup? You all ready? Hi, Tracy. Yeah, there we go. So, it has been, good morning, Shelby. It has been an unbelievable week. Starting this week coming here, I had so many readings planned, and I was nervous about that. I was nervous about, is the energy, am I going to have enough energy? Am I going to be able to do it? Because, you want to have integrity and really do it the right way. Good morning, Kiko. Good morning, Tracy. Oh my goodness, everybody here. Good morning, Ivana. And good morning, Lisa. So, I was worried about, am I going to have enough energy to do this? And it has been like groups of 10 every day, 10, 15. The gallery was 80 people. And there's like 12 I think it's been 16 personal readings this week. So a lot going on, right? But I'll tell you what it's taught me. It's taught me that when we really surrender, we can truly connect to spirit. We can truly make that connection and it not be such an energetic drain or that we have to think to do it, right? It just will be natural. We will have that energy to do it. Good morning, Meredith. So, there you go. Oh, that's funny, Kiko and Shelby. That's awesome. So I thought what we would talk about today is, how can we all connect to spirit? How can we all raise that vibration and raise that connection for our own ability to talk to our loved ones or talk to our guides, because again, sometimes, we look to other people to make that connection for us. So we look to other people for the advice or guidance, which is always helpful. Remember the lean on me. We do want to encourage that, but we also want to have the ability to look inside of ourselves, to look inside of how can we make our own connection and talk to our own guides? I had this reading today and the guy was like, hey, I've been asking my guide and I'm not hearing anything. Well, here's the thing. Understand maybe how is your guide working and how are you receiving the information? Because in some circumstances, you may be expecting to hear something, but they're showing you pictures. And it's the same thing with loved ones. It's the same thing where we are putting things out there where we're expecting it to be a certain way, yet that's not how they're doing it. That's not how they're operating. Last night there was a reading and it was so clear it was her dad. So clear. And everybody knew it was her dad. Everybody in this reading, she knew it was her dad. And it was so healing, yet at the end she said, I told him to say 3 things and I would know it's him. And she says, and you didn't say any of them. And I said, well, that's exactly right. That's what you said you needed. That's not what he needed to give. And when we can open up to that, when we can open up to loosening our demands on spirit, then we're actually going to open up that flow. We're going to raise that vibration naturally. But when we try to control the connection, our own connection, again, to ourself, higher self, to guides, to loved ones, when we try to hold that vibration down by controlling it, we're going to make that connection harder. Okay? So, yes, because the repeating numbers I'm seeing are off the hook. Exactly. And thanks for sharing. I saw someone share it, so thank you. So what we can do here, you guys, here's what the idea is. Start letting go of what you think you need in order to make that connection. And be an open book. Be like a child. Why do you think children connect so easily? Because they don't have demands. They don't have conditions. Children are unconditional. They love unconditionally. They give unconditionally. And so with that, they open up to everything, whatever comes to them. They allow their imagination to work. And that's what we have to find within ourselves again, that imagination, that playfulness, that ability to surrender how we want to make that connection happen. And I promise, when you do that, you're going to, all sorts of crazy little things are going to happen. Okay? I mean, you guys know, for anyone who's been following the Facebook, spiders, like what the heck? Like, it's, you know, yesterday there was like a tarantula outside. I'll post the picture. I was like not going to post a third spider picture, but this thing is like a tarantula. So clearly a guide is trying to get my attention and giving me a message, right? But it's, you know, it's being open to all the little nuances around us. So tune in on your hearing, okay? Because, you know, it could be sounds you hear, you know, nature sounds or some music that you're hearing or a word that you pick up in a conversation from someone else. Like you could be out eating and just hear a conversation. I think eavesdropping is wonderful. Be nosy. But it's hearing, you know, and using that hearing sense. And when the other thing too is know that when spirit connects to you or guides and things like that, they may use your inner hearing. So that actually makes you think it's your imagination, and you do think you're crazy. You do, like you know. But that is, I mean, listen, thinking you're crazy is seriously Spirit 101, okay? None of us get through this thinking we're sane. None of us, really. You all think you're batty, so cheers to that. Cheers to batty. Here, cheers to woo-woo. And so I want you to let me know if you connect. Let me know how you're connecting or things that you're getting. Do you know? And looking at how are you adding it and how are you interpreting it? Because sometimes we can dismiss these things so easily when it really is a connection. And we have to be able to kind of notice it. Because if you're not noticing it, you're going to miss it. So it's about being aware. So you have to expand and raise your awareness. So, I'm doing it this way actually, which is interesting. To me, mediumship, we kind of expand our outwards. We expand it this way. And that just kind of says, come on in, friend. Come on, let's have a chat, you know. Our own vibration, I feel like raises up, right? If it's our own higher self and soul, I feel like that to me feels like it kind of goes up. If I'm connecting to another person's soul to soul, I feel like that goes forward. So I don't know, you may work differently, but that's just to me how it works. Expanding out is connecting to the spirit world. Upwards is connecting to my higher self. Forward is connecting to another soul. So if you're paying attention to where do you feel pulled, am I being pulled outwards? Am I being pulled forward? Am I being pulled upward? That will actually tell you who's connecting, what is connecting. Do you know what I mean? Thirsty Thursday. Shelby, if we have Thirsty Thursday, that's going to be with a glass of wine, okay? My laugh out loud, my husband says, here she goes again. I freak him out. When I know it's going to happen before it happens. Oh boy, I'll tell you, premonitions. That's the other thing. So again, remember, I'm always telling you guys to, okay, Daisy, that's a great question and I'll answer that. I'm always telling you guys, have a journal with you because I think it's really important, okay? Now Daisy says, hey, what if I'm being pulled in all directions? Okay, that's easy enough and we can, but I doubt, and again, this is just my feeling, that we would be pulled in all directions simultaneously. Like it can be pulled sideways, upwards, and forwards. But I feel like if you feel like it's all over and all at once, then I think it's about focusing. Like tuning into where is that connection? Because I think when you become more aware of your own body and energy, you'll actually feel like it probably is pulling you one way or another at that particular moment. That's where presentness becomes very important. Being very, very, very present in the moment. Because otherwise we can be feeling pulled all around. But that's because we're not going into ourselves. So try that. See if that works, okay? See if that works. Shelby says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'll remind you of that later. So, when you're making your own connections, try not to feel like it's got to be one thing that you set up. I think it is fun to set up a little sign with them, like show me a feather and I know that this is the right direction for this. But also be clear in how you're doing it. So many times people think that they're being clear with spirit, but they're actually not, or clear with their intention, but they're not. They're actually doing compound things, so watch if you're making a compound intention, meaning two things at once. Will I find new love and get married? That's actually a compound thing. First of all, let's slow it down a bit. Let's slow it. Am I going to find love? Let's just figure that part out. Now, am I going to get married? Like, they have to be two separate things, right? Am I going to get a new job in 6 months? You hear that all the time. Am I going to get this job in 3 months? Well, or new job in 3 months, right? It's compound. We have to slow that down. Am I going to get a new job? Yes or no? Is it in 3 months? Yes or no? So the more you can break it down, the more you're going to be able to see these signs and symbols. The more you're going to be able to get the answers a little bit quicker by tuning in. Okay, so there's just things like that you can do. So setting up your connection and communication in more specific ways, but then surrendering, does that make sense? Will really help you understand the language that's being used. Help you understand what are you getting so that you can decipher it and interpret it more clearly and more easily, okay? Because there's so many times where we get these messages, but we're not really sure what they mean, or we're not really sure how to interpret them. And remember, the first time you get a message, it may just be building on itself as well, okay? Oh, Angela, that's wonderful. Angela says she's always asking her son, she's missing him, and then ask him to show her a sign, and then he'll come to her in a dream. That's amazing. I had a dream last night that was so crazy, and it was so weird. It's so clear, and I woke up remembering it, and I knew right away that dream was about deception. And I know that it was a premonition, and I knew that there's something about deception for me to pay attention to. And I was like, oh, man. But it was so clear. And we get that. We get premonition. So your premonitions may be in a dream or a flash or something like that. And sometimes, again, it may take some time for the premonition to fulfill itself. So just know that. Like, it's not always instantaneous. I mean, and if you start marking down when you're getting these intentions, when are you getting these signs and symbols, you're going to be able to see what your timeline is like. Is it 6 months out? Is it a year out? Is it a month out? You'll start really seeing how that works out for you. Okay? But so record what you're getting. Kind of make sure you're taking note to record it and logging it, because that is important to see how are you working and how is spirit working with you, and are different spirits and is higher self and guides, are they working with you differently? The more we can pay attention to our own connection and how they want to work with us and the ways they want to work, that will really help. One other thing too is know that when you're working with spirit, and this is like, I see this a lot. Spirit, and when I say spirit, like loved ones in spirit, they're just like personalities. They're exactly like, they're no different than people in the living, okay? They're no different than the different personalities that we encounter every day. That doesn't go away. So, some spirits may be way more explicit when communicating with you. Some may not. Some may be so quiet, you almost don't notice they're there. But you would have noticed they would have been like that in the living. So it is just saying, like, can't expect them all to come through the exact same way and with the exact information you want or the exact symbol you set up. It's like they're people. You don't cooperate with everybody. Am I right? Come on now, agree. I know it. Show me some hearts. You can be fussy and picky, and you're not going to agree with everything. You're not going to give someone everything they ask you. Am I right? And the more we start making demands of them, give me this, show me this, do this for me, the more they're going to be like, I don't think so. But the more you surrender and just go with the flow, oh boy, it's like one thing after another. It would be like an overflow, be a water flow of information. So I dreamt about the house and my husband years before we met and bought our house. See, isn't that fun? Isn't that great? So, that's things that we can do, you guys. That's things we can do. So with your loved ones, with you connecting to your own loved ones, okay, here's a couple things I want you to do. Lighten up on the demands. Because demands create pressure. Pressure actually lowers vibration. All right? So lessen up on the demands and be more curious like a kid. Be more imaginative like a kid. I was told my giant is a 6-foot Viking. Oh, hello, Ontario. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Lisa, exactly. So let's not be demanding. That's so funny, Alexa. I love that. Let's not be demanding. Let's not put prerequisites on our spirit. Yeah. Let's let them do their thing. And if we're open, right, we're gonna notice it. If we're flexible, we're gonna notice it. It's like a dance. I'll tell you what, sometimes it can be, oh, Tina, you're so welcome. I know it can be so frustrating. I'll tell you, as a medium, it's hard because, you know, as a medium, do I want to give the client absolutely every little thing that they had in their head that they set up? Of course. Oh my God, I would love it. I would love nothing more than getting every single name exactly right, than getting every little thing that they've ever done for them exactly right, to get every little detail of this life exactly right. I would. But I also noticed when I created that pressure and when I created those demands, I was creating too much pressure on spirit. And now I just ride the roller coaster. I just go, all right, we want to okay, let's do it. And it's so much more fun. And they have fun. They laugh with us. Your spirit, your team, they laugh with us, you guys. It's not all sad and boo-hoo and baha. I mean, first of all, they're feeling fantastic, okay? They're feeling fabulous. Like, think of the best feeling you've ever had. The most euphoric feeling. Now multiply that by like 1 billion because that's how they're feeling. So don't feel sad that they're feeling fabulous, okay? Because they are. Now, also imagine the love. Think of something you love. Something you love so much. It is, you would give anything for this love. Now multiply that by 1 billion because that's how they're feeling. All right. And they laugh and they joke and they play games with us and they give us messages and they give us hugs. They touch us. They play with lights. But it's about lessening and noticing more of what are they giving us rather than what are we demanding. Okay. I'm hoping that helps. Exactly, Meredith. It is having fun. I mean, of course there's a level of integrity and all that's, but it's having love and fun with them. I get to meet so many crazy people. You have a lot of crazy relatives. I mean, I know I do, but I'm not alone. I have met some really fun, crazy, loud people. And it's wonderful. It's so great. And it's so great when we all can connect that way. And when we all realize that we all have some level of connecting to our own self and our own guides and our own loved ones. And so if you're feeling a little discouraged, maybe that you're saying, I'm trying to connect and I'm trying to do it and it's not working for me, ask yourself, am I putting too much in a box? Am I trying to make it too structured? Am I trying to put too much pressure on it being an exact way that I think it needs to be? So, and if you are, then I ask that you just give it a week of being loosey-goosey with it and see if you just don't notice a few more things popping in. because I think we will, and I think it will make it more fun for you, and I think it will be more healing, and it will be an incredible way for you to hone your own gifts, okay? So whether that's a sound or a thought inside your head or outside, all right, because again, they may use a physical sound or inside, a picture or a flash inside or outside, or a feeling inside, outside, a knowing. Just know that it could be all certain things. Just also one other thing I'll leave you with. Try not to second guess. That minute you go, was it that? You're losing it. You're already getting too logical with it. Already. Of course it is. Like if it pops in, if it's a thought that just pops in or a word that just pops in, it just... Trust that. You have to trust it. Do you think that they have the energy to sit there and give you a full-on sit-down dialogue, hold you, flip on a light, move an object, put the blue jay right in front of you, and then tell you? That's a lot. So just trust the process. Trust that it's like a different language. It's a different vibration. And once we just loosen up to that, I think we're going to have a lot more fun and a lot more connection with our own spirit, loved ones, higher self. And just go inwards. Go inwards with your own messages and feeling, and tune in so that you can kind of feel centered with it, feel centered, because I think that grounding, that centeredness, then lets you really see what direction things are happening. So when you're really grounded, when you're centered, right, you're going to feel where that energy exactly is coming from. And it will make it so much fun, okay? So that is it. That is our little coffee with Colby. Did you guys have some coffee? Every day we've been doing it, and I'm hoping to see you tomorrow. I have like a full day of readings, but I'm definitely going to squeeze it in. I'm not going to leave you hanging, okay? So just know I will be there, and that is it. I'm going to be at the hotel later because I have a suite set up for reading, so I'm super excited. Maybe we'll do a little live video, a little tour of Glassboro. But anyhow, you guys have a fabulous day. Oh, listen, real quick. So tonight is the show, right? Live with Colby Psychic Rebel. Still doing it. We'll be doing it through Zoom, so we'll be online. I am doing it with Lindsay Marino. So if you don't know her, she's unbelievably fabulous, super sweet. She's in Florida. She's going to be my guest tonight. She created these oracle cards, deck of cards, Unlocking Your Connection. They are, I think, one of the only decks that I know of, or one of the few, where the deck is created around connecting with a loved one. I mean, incredible. So beautiful, beautiful. She's got a lot of stuff coming up. She's a joy. She's beautiful. We're going to take some callers, so maybe you can try to get through. I'll just, listen, you guys, just because you're special, 323-992-3115. That's the number. Just know there may be a call queue, but we're going to try to take callers tonight, and it will be online. So please, everyone, let's have the spirit guides be with us with electronics, right? At least there's no Mercury retrograde right now, right? Anyhow, that's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that I get to say. So if you're around, tune in, join us. I think you will have a fabulous time. Spend the day connecting, you guys. Spend the day. Have a little fun with your loved ones, all right? And I'll talk to you later. Bye.